Okay, just flow, Just flow. Are you ready? You ready?
No.
This is very weird.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we are finally here. I'm so excited. Welcome, guys, to Let's Meet in the Staff Room podcast, also known as Limits. Oh my gosh, what a journey!
We're here.
What a journey. My name is Johnoi Josephs, and I am 1/4. It's safe to say that. I am 1/4 of your host, and welcome to our channel. So,
Yes, introductions. I am another one of that 1/4. I am Sengulay-Thomas. I am a careers advisor.
My name is Mamus Emosivwe. I am another 25% of this group. It's diversified. And I am a head of department.
Head of what?
Head of the PE department. I love that. So yeah, do I expand? Yeah, I've been teaching. Oh my gosh, how long have I been teaching now? 6 years.
6 years.
This is going to be my 7th year of teaching. I'm going to be teaching in the school in Wandsworth. And yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
Nice.
One's gonna be laughing.
Sorry, I'm just so excited to be here. Hi everyone, to those who are listening out there, my name is Monica. I'm a primary school teacher and I've actually just passed my NQT.
Well done.
Yeah, just like July here. Yeah, and I'm just excited.
Yeah. I didn't even say, but yeah, I'm also a secondary school teacher.
Yeah.
I work in a school in Croydon and I teach a range of different subjects, So we've got citizenship, we've got history, we've got geography, we've got a bit of religious education, and then now humanities. But that's basically a quick introduction to us, and I'm assuming by now you guys will understand that when you have a table surrounded by educators, what possibly could we be talking about? What could we be talking about? Okay, cool. So, suspense awaits. We will be talking about everything exploring education and society at its intersection. So, what does that look like? Essentially, discussing how everything starts in the classroom and how it can be correlated to society. Zion.
Yeah, I think it's such a kind of unique idea. I think to give a bit of a background, LinkedIn, I know most of you must have LinkedIn. I remember I was scrolling through LinkedIn one afternoon and actually saw your post, Johnoi. It was, quite a series of posts, and, one of the ones which really captivated me, what you were doing actually, I'm not sure if you knew, but you were kind of summarizing your day or your week and your kind of engagement with your students. So I remember I'll come home from work, be on the train, read LinkedIn and see, oh, this is what I did today. I had this conversation today, or I spoke with this parent today. And one of them which really gripped me was where you spoke to a student and you said you're not going to be the forgotten generation. And I remember reading that and thinking, wow. And I thought, wow, this is what education should be about. And in my head I thought, you know what? It would be amazing to capture what is going on in that conversation. And let's blow it up. Let's look at what does academics say? Let's just blow up and let's explore that. And let's see what we can, kind of produce. And I think that's where that idea really came from, was really something organic, something real, something genuine. And I think what we really want to do is bring our experiences to the table, talk about them with you, journey with you, and just really see how we can potentially help, impact, inspire, but really just discuss.
It's so interesting that you mentioned LinkedIn, because I hate LinkedIn. And the reason why is because I just didn't know how to use it, and I didn't know that you could actually use such a platform that people actually read it. I just thought it's a platform that you just look for jobs, and say, I did this internship this summer. Thank you so much. But as you rightly said, I really wanted to document my experience. I think personally for me, because I just wanted to kind of know, like, it's been such a long journey to kind of get to where I am now, being a teacher, an educator, and I didn't want to miss any moment at all. Little did I know that it was also inspiring other people. So thank you so much.
No, thank you.
It's because of those posts. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing what we're doing. So
okay, cool. So that's the history of it, but why limits? Why let's meet in the staff room? Like, if I was to ask you, Mamus, when you think of the staff room, like, and you've been in education for 6 years, there must be some interesting, juicy.
There's plenty of interesting conversations. I think it's the whole concept of, like, let's meet in the staff room. It captures all of that, because you've got us teachers talk about everything in the staff room, because we don't get that opportunity to talk about those things in front of students. So the staff room is sort of like the hideaway, it's like the haven, it's like we're away from the kids now, let's really just talk about what is bothering us, the things that we're seeing, the things that we want to see, the things that we don't want to see, and just all of that stuff. So we really get the opportunity in the staff room, albeit it be you get 20 minutes at break time, and then another 40-ish, if that, because you're forever having students probably knock on the staff room door and be like, "Miss, I need," leave me alone. But so it's just that 20-35 minutes to just really just discuss and just be like, this is how I'm feeling today, and this is the reason why, and just all of that stuff. So I think, like, the concept of let's meet in the staff room, that's why we've sort of done it that way, because it really just captures the discussions that you can have away from your students. Not that we want to do something to be away from them, but it's that sort of thing. So.
And on that, Mamus, I've actually had not quite good experiences with staff room, actually, because several schools that I've been to, there's been that negative connotation with staff rooms, where teachers may not exactly say the nicest things about students. But then what I realised in the school that I'm in now, that you can actually have healthy conversations, and you learn from those teachers who are well experienced. So I mean, this is definitely a podcast about healthy conversations. I'll say that.
There's no gossiping.
We're not here to, like,
just learning.
Badmouth students. We're going to be talking about some good stuff.
And you know what I think is really beneficial for the students who may be listening or watching? I remember saying to myself one day that sometimes maybe as adults we do young people a disservice where we lack communication because I think they're too young to understand or be interested, and by that we actually kind of sabotage their ability to grow or develop or learn or navigate life. And I think for those students who are listening, this is it can be insight to maybe some of the theories, some of the what's the word? What's academics? Some of the schools of thought, some of the experiences, from the teacher side, and it can bring understanding. It can probably be something you can pick up and take to school the next day and be like, oh, actually, I heard this on this podcast. Let me try it out today. So I think it can be quite beneficial.
So in summary, it just seems like the staff room is a multifaceted place. A place where you are discussing your troubles. You're sharing your voice in it, but you're also learning as well from those experienced teachers. And on top of that, you're also making friends. Because if you're spending 8-9 hours at school surrounded by kids, right, you need that time where you can actually talk to a fellow adult. Let's talk about mortgage. Let's talk about what Tommy said to Harry.
You want to know about your high score on Fortnite for the whole week. It's fine. Let me talk to some of the adults. Although some adults enjoy Fortnite but it's fine.
I found that weird.
We got there, it's fine.
Like, you're fully grown.
We'll leave it.
No, wait. I feel attacked right now.
It's fine.
Because I'm playing my games.
That's what I was going to say. Some people are avid.
Listen, I'm a gamer. I've got the headset. I've got my team. Like, we...
Wow.
It's deep, but so it's cool.
Excellent. So that's an insight into like what this podcast is about. And guys, as well as you can hear that we are so unique and we're so genuine in the fact that like we're actually normal good people. You know,
I think so.
Teachers and educators have lives, guys. We don't
do.
just live
Oh
in
my
school.
God.
We have lives. We actually have things that we do outside of school. I remember actually one of my students, though, genuinely thought that teachers lived in school. Like we had like our own little separate area,
bunk.
5 minutes away from the school, so we can get in on time, and we just all lived there. And I just looked at her and I just thought, that's not my life. I was just like, no way. That doesn't even make any sort of sense. So we do actually have lives. We're not just, we're passionate about being in school.
You
lives
just plugged that. I've got a question. So, who is, right, Zion outside of being an educator?
Put it up on the hot seat.
You know, who's Mamus outside of being a teacher? Who's Monica outside of being a teacher? Yeah, this is like Zion. Who are
Let's
you?
start with you.
Me?
Let's start with
Who's
you.
outside of all of it?
Okay, cool. So
Let's get a list.
let's get the list. So I think first and foremost, I am a believer. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I think that's really channeled a lot of the different passions that I do. I am so passionate about philanthropy. I'm passionate about young people, and I'm really passionate about food. You know, I love to cook, and so one thing I do like, you know, to do and imagine doing in the future is actually creating a space where I could join both together, the food and the philanthropy, and just so I like business. I like to dance.
Sing.
I could hold a note. But ultimately, I'm just a lover of life. Like I love to laugh. I love to have fun. And I love to kind of make people feel happy around me. So that's who I am outside of Mr. Josephs.
That is who you are. Right, we're going this way. We're not going this
Me.
way. Yeah,
Come
we're
on.
going this way.
Oh, who am I?
Can we just say that Monica's got a really nice podcast
Like,
voice?
it's
Like
such
she's
a natural
amazing.
radio
Amazing.
voice. Like, honestly, it's just a natural radio voice. It's so
Oh,
cool.
thanks, guys. I have to leave my career now. Who am I? I mean, I'm much of a family person. Definitely family orientated. Love my family. Love my nieces, my nephews, my cousins. Like Johnoi, love laughter. I think I'm much of a person who just doesn't really care. I'm very like free, you know. I don't really have many worries. I don't really allow things to bother me as such. I love traveling. Definitely love traveling and brunches. You guys know me. I'm always out for a cheeky brunch. What else? Yeah, I think that's me in a nutshell, really. I'm just a great person to know. And I'm very friendly. Very friendly.
Pick up yourself.
You're right. Too bad.
You'll always find me smiling and laughing about something. There's always something to laugh about.
Okay. Mamus?
Outside of being Miss Emosivwe, I love sport.
Tell them about it.
I'm a PE teacher. Yeah, so sport was always going to be in there some way, somehow. I love sport. I love traveling. I'm an ambassador of enjoyment. No, I'm actually I am an ambassador of enjoyment. I just think because you work so hard, and you just think, you know what? Let me rest. Like let me actually rest and enjoy. But even beyond all of that, as Johnoi said, I'm a Christian. I'm a believer, and I think even me coming into teaching, it was not my decision. Oh Lord God, it was not my decision. I really wanted to do something like fact, and you'll find out a little bit more about that in these podcasts later on. But so even that, and I think I'm so passionate about youth development. The burden is not necessarily, and I'll say this here and to any students that may be listening, we do love you as teachers, but I just put that out there. My burden was not necessarily because I like young people. It was genuinely because I did not like seeing them purposeless. It mugged me. It was really like, no, but why do you do what you do? There is so much in you, and there is so much that you can do. Why are you being foolish? Like, stop it. Like, we're not. Like, why are you doing this? So to be fair, outside of teaching, it's still kind of a part of me. But I guess the fun things, I'm an ambassador of enjoyment. I love traveling. If I had my way, every half term I'd be in another country. Like, fact, I would not be here every half time I'll be in another country.
Yeah.
I love sport. I love my nephews, so they're 2, just turned 2, and I love them, and they're like, I treat them like my own, really. I don't have any children, by the way, I'm just saying, I treat them as if they were my own. Very family orientated, very close to my siblings, very close to like cousins, aunties, and things like that. So, I think that's just me. I think if you take anything away, I am an ambassador of enjoyment.
I love that.
That's it.
I love that. That needs to be your bio, man.
That's I should add it. It should be a job role. I should add it.
Zion, man. Listen, Zion. Zion.
I don't like this question. I never knew what to say. I never knew what to say. I was in my head. I was thinking, what am I going to say? I like to chill. I'm going to start off there. I think I love enjoyment too. I have so many interests. I'm interested in sports. I grew up playing football, tennis, athletics. Love swimming. I love different types of music. I like rock. I love to have a laugh and play about. I'm not a serious. I'm not a serious guy. Definitely love to have fun, enjoyment, social activity. But I think I'm really passionate outside of kind of this. Obviously, I'm not a teacher. I work within a university. But I think similar to Mamus, it wasn't my intention at all. I did sports growing up, and that was what I saw myself going into. And literally, as a believer as well, it was literally something I stumbled into. And I just really want to see everyone given an opportunity. So I think with that, I've loved to have ideas, initiatives, around social, cultural issues. And just really look at how can we help, whether that's young people, whether that's, maybe homelessness, whether that's in policy, whether that's, international. I think I really want to be a person who, similar to philanthropy. I always said if I had all the money in the world, I'll probably just help. That's all I'll do. I'll probably just be like, yo, what can I do for you? And let's bring you to a better place. I mean, that's all I want to see. So, but I like to have a laugh as well. I like to crack jokes, man. I like to be a bit cheeky. What they can know. So I love sports. I love football. I love Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Shout out to my team, Nova Seal 6, Division 7.
Wow.
So that's for now. But I think there's a lot more you probably find out about each of us as we kind of move forward, and we're quite excited to be on that journey with you.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm just thinking now that, Monica's in primary school, myself and Mamus were in secondary, and then Zion, you're in tertiary education. So it's like we cover the whole transition from for a young person. So man, there's a place at the table.
And can I just say, I think us all being here is literally a testimony of obedience to God's voice. Because like myself, I'm also a believer, and I think if we weren't obedient to God's voice, we wouldn't be at this table today.
Definitely.
100%.
Right.
Who are you?
I said who I am. I said who I am, man.
Too busy bigging up his gaming. Forgot what happened.
So we touched on, who limits, why are limits, so on and so forth. Who are we? So, Mamus, what kind of content are we going to be bringing?
Oh, we've got so much content. I don't know why I did that. Oh my gosh, I'm so cheesy. This is annoying. Right. So we've got what we call tea talks. So this will be sort of intimate sort of conversations more about us, who we are, and sort of how that links in with education. Then we've got the Let's Meet in the Staff Room podcast. This is our main podcast where we talk about education and its intersection with society. So we pick up on things like race, gender, power play, all of the, just so many different things within society, and how that sort of links in with education. And then we've also got our Spotlight series, which is where we bring in guests in education, as well as guests to do with social cultural issues within our society at the moment, and we bring them on and we have interviews with them to sort of get just a full picture of how education interlinks and intersects with society. So we've got a lot of content for you guys, plenty to get us going. And the reason why we're doing this is because we don't just want it to be a conversation with us. We want you to be able to join in those conversations as well. And so we have many ways that you can do that.
Yeah, I'll be giving them a bit of insight on that one. So let's hold them a second. So you touched on us having tea talks. You touched on us having the actual episodes, the series, and then lastly, spotlight. Yeah. Monica, what is or can you give us a couple of things that you're looking forward to for us discussing?
I think one main thing I'm looking forward to is just sharing each other's experiences. Because even though we've all been friends for, I would say, a good amount of time, there's a lot of stuff you've gone through in your career that I don't necessarily know. And I think there'll be a lot of relation that we can compare and contrast. Yeah. So just having those fruitful discussions and leaving here with our water cooler wisdoms. We'll drop that at a later date. But just leaving here, just learning from you guys and just growing and thriving as a teacher.
Okay. Zion?
What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to debates.
Yeah.
As Mum said, there's a lot we're probably going to be discussing. We may have, as I said, we've been friends, but we may have different views. We may have various kind of experiences, and I think it's going to be really beautiful to bring that all to the table and make sense of it. So I'm looking forward to learning. I think I want to kind of get a lot of insight, as you guys are all within the school. So I'd love to get a lot of insight into what do you actually experience, what does a day-to-day look like, and what do the different types of school look like, and of course education policy. How is that affecting what you guys do within the classroom? So for me, this is learning as well as kind of discussion. So I'm really looking forward to debating, going at each other, seeing our passions really come out on the table, and just making sense of all of that.
Awesome. Mamus?
Very similar. I think one thing that I'm really, really looking forward to is the breakdown of it. So it's almost like you have the experience, so that could be, I don't know, but you have the teacher experience, but it's the breakdown as to sort of looking at why that experience took place and what caused you to feel the way that you felt about that experience because of your, views. And I think one thing that is what I'm really looking forward to in exploring here is how society has even shaped our views into how we perceive experiences, but then also how we sort of feed into, especially for us as teachers, how we feed that into our classroom, how we feed that into our teaching methods because of what we see in society and what we perceive society to be like. So it's really looking at the breakdown of that. That's one thing that I'm really looking forward to, because it would just be interesting to know how we view things and why that is the way that we've done. We do what we do, or why we've had those experiences. So it should be good.
This excuse me. This table is looking very rich. But I share the same sentiments as all of you guys, and I think if I was to kind of give the listeners some topics that we're going to be talking about, we have stuff talking, parental engagement, we're talking about mentorship, this whole idea, is the classroom enough to make an individual in society? So everything that we kind of shared now, we're going to be diving into with specific topics. So we have literally introduced us, LMITS, who we are. You don't forget to follow us on our social media platform. I can't believe I just said that.
You've got it.
Social media platform.
It's real.
So you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at LMITSPodcast. Details will be provided. And throughout this whole journey, there's going to be a couple of hashtags that we're going to be using. So please be familiar with it. We have hashtag EdXSoc, and also hashtag Staff Room Chronicles. Man, let's get the conversation started. So, any final words? Why should they listen? Just one word. Why should people listen? Insightful.
Organic.
Fruitful.
That flowed. That flowed well.
Well, you heard it from us. We are your hosts on this awesome podcast, and we look forward to discussing with you on our next topic. So stay tuned, guys.